Hey guys, Tom itself here with a little bit of the new Revolution DLC. I got some downhill domination for you with the Peacekeeper. It's just kind of an odd weapon, and I'm sure you've seen lots about it already. Low damage, accuracy, but maneuverable. So this is what I find to be one of the most useful things to do with it. Hurry up to some point on the map, get behind a little bit of cover, and then use the accuracy to pick people off, although I don't know what that guy was doing. It's certainly not overpowered. It fills a very strange role that you're really not likely to need. There's a reason we haven't seen a gun quite like this in a previous Call of Duty game. It completely gives up its 3-hit kill range and has a slow rate of fire. Why wouldn't you just use an assault rifle or an SMG at that point? So you're bridging a gap that, for the most part, most people aren't going to need. Still, it's satisfying to use with that accuracy, and it's something fun to do. I'm in the DLC playlist here, and you're going to see probably 3/4 of the kill feed is Peacekeepers. And despite it's not an overpowered weapon, the fact that it's obviously enjoyable to use and everyone's having fun with it, I'll give Treyarch credit for adding a new, different gun to the game without messing up the metagame. Strafing around with an assault rifle, you'd normally need an adjustable stock to do stuff like that, but the Peacekeeper being an SMG, you can use that mobility to do some fun stuff. And again, it's enjoyable to use, but I would call it far from overpowered. Now, as far as the maps go, I'm still getting a feel for them, but I do think I have a few observations I could make. The first is that there are some hazards on these maps that you kind of have to look out for. I assume on Hydro, that water coming through, that's why the announcer tells you when it's coming. And then on downhill here, there's that. This is the first game I played on this map, so I was not expecting that. I got my streak cut short there. One of the big changes I've also noticed is that there is now a little bit more cover around B domination on a lot of these maps. You see here you got a little bit of a barrier. I used it at the start, and I'm very, very happy they've added at least a little bit of cover, make those a little bit less exposed. They were just too open on many of the other maps. One thing that they've continued to do, and somewhat of a nod to the competitive community, is the maps continue to be fairly symmetrical. Not entirely, we'll get back to that. Not only do we play rounds from each side, but the map is already essentially symmetrical. I mean, I appreciate the maps aren't unbalanced, but I don't feel the need for perfectly symmetrical maps all the time. And another thing is that we see lots of where the symmetry is there's just a plane through the middle. It's like you put a mirror down in the middle of the map and you just copied it over. And not entirely, they change things up and make it a little more interesting. It's very, very much just a mirror through the middle of the map, and that's the kind of symmetry you get. Oh, trap package kill, very nice teammate. Whereas in other Call of Duty games, you'd see some point symmetry, where if you cut the map in half, instead of mirroring it over, it's like you rotated the half around, and that can lead to some interesting things. For example, Havana from Black Ops 1 had point symmetry, I'd say, and yeah, I don't know, it changes things up a little bit without making it super unbalanced at all. It's just a slightly different version of the same. Oh, I'm getting far too technical for a gameplay video. Anyway, they've changed things up a little bit with Mirage. It's still kind of symmetrical, but mostly the flags aren't in a straight line. And, well, that's quite the change of pace for Black Ops 2 here. And, I'm glad they're doing something a little different, change things up a little. I don't know, it gets kind of tiring when the points are always in a straight line, always, and we don't have the option to go AC, with everyone's always fighting over the B flag, basically. So I'm very happy to see that they've changed things up a little bit. I need to play some more Domination on Mirage before I can say much more about it. Speaking of playing Domination, as most of you guys probably know, I tend to roll with a team of 4, possibly 5, or even 6 people when I play Domination, but here I am running solo in the DLC Mosh Pit playlist. And so I'm looking at my teammates going, what on earth are they doing? I mean, I could have gone for A back there, but I don't have a UAV up. I have no idea where the enemies are. So I decided to come back and help clear things out and pave the way for my teammates, give them a little help, so they can get out of the wherever they were stuck. And I have no idea what the problem was there. So I felt like I needed to come back and try and help them. It's just too clueless without somebody to come in and give them a hand. We'll finally hop back on B here and try and finish out the half. But on the whole, I'd have to say that my first impressions are very positive for this map pack. I'm looking forward to playing more on them. In fact, I haven't played solo just because I felt like it for a while. That's a good sign. Calling the VSAT with barely 20 seconds left. That's just... Yeah, it's great. It's so much fun to have the VSAT up, but I don't know, you can do silly things like this that it's still wasted a bunch of time on it. Anyway, we're getting into the second half here, and I'm going to end up spending a fair amount of time around B-Dom. In a big open area, and, well, there's no way around it. It's pretty much a death trap. The VSAT is going to make sticking around in that area quite a bit more possible, though. And if you have to go in this area and you don't have a VSAT up, I have a couple things that I could suggest that might help survivability a little bit at least. The first is just don't walk out into the middle of the open, right smack dab in the middle with no cover around at all. And the second is to figure out where the overwatch points are, because you saw that window I just hopped out of a second ago, and figure out where people are going to look as soon as they go out of those, come up to that window, or in any of the spots. There's another one from the chairlift room, from the lodge. And try not to go right where people are going to look as soon as they come to those windows, because obviously it's fairly dangerous. If they have to turn, that means it takes them longer to aim and makes it somewhat more likely that you'll be able to turn, look at the correct window yourself, and return fire. Stay out of that area. It's a death trap. Like I said, I managed to keep putting up VSATs this half, and that makes it quite a bit easier. Now, the other thing I'm doing several times in this game, and I feel bad about it, but when I'm playing solo, I tend to, and that is that I will corner camp a little bit. And in general, there are two things that I guess I would say I think make it okay to wait for a few seconds. The first one is that I usually know a guy is coming, and then I'm waiting for him, and I need the advantage, and there's no cover around, so I'm going to hide in a corner and make him turn to look at me. The other is that by letting an enemy come that far forward, that they're past the corner that I'm waiting at, I'm not exposing teammates to unnecessary gunfire. Especially playing hardpoint. Hardpoint will be in a room and a teammate will wait in the corner of the room and won't be able to shoot the guy until he's actually in the hardpoint. Now that'll drive me nuts. I hate to say it. You're not providing any cover for your teammates if you're doing that. So if I can wait behind a corner for a guy I know that's coming and he's not going to get a shot on a teammate before I can, shoot him in the side, yeah, I might wait. And part of that is just adapting my playstyle to this gun. It's not particularly strong up close. It doesn't have a 3-hit kill range. It has a slow rate of fire. Time to kill is not so great in close quarters, and so I have to play cautiously with it in order to do well. So, in some ways, just playing to the gun's strengths, trying to post up, be mobile, get to positions they don't expect me in, and then accurate fire, and avoiding gunfights at close range where it's just going to be face-to-face. The VSAT helps so much. Well, it looks like this game is rapidly coming to an end. Teammates want to dominate, enemies want to leave. Oh, come on, guys, just give them 1 point, drag it out just a little bit. I could get another 30 kill streak. I guess not. Anyway, I'm glad I did this. I've done several other commentaries, and I'm slightly topical, but I don't know, I was not happy with them, and so they never got posted. I wanted to finally just upload just a normal commentary, do some more stat stuff later with shotguns, and I have an interesting player survey I think you guys might find interesting that I'll get up at some point. But, for now, I'm just enjoying playing the DLC. I managed to get this pretty good game and thought I'd share it with you guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you later.
Extra complete, Martin B.